Hello again. Welcome back to the Demon Souls slow play, snail play, slow through, lore through, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how obvious it is in my voice or not, but I feel better. Um, Quite a bit. So hopefully my voice is a little less, not raspy, but it wasn't doing great last recording, but we're here now, and hopefully this will make things smoother. So, I've been playing a little bit of this game outside of this recording, and just getting more used to it, getting more familiar with some of its weirdisms here and there, so that I have more stuff to talk about when we come back to it. In this episode, I would like to go through the Nexus and go over whatever we can here at this point. And then I would also like to complete 1, 2, or level 2 of Boletaria. Let me see. I just was curious. If there was anything I hadn't talked about at the end of the last one. I don't remember how much I said about the story we were given from the last remaining monumental, as well as what some other characters have told us. I also don't remember if I talked to everyone at the end of the last episode, so I might check their dialogue again. But yeah, so the idea that the Nexus captured the soul of someone and trapped them to fight for the cause of putting the old one back to slumber, to do away with this occurrence of the scourge, since it's happened before, as she stated. Only stopped at like the cost of a great many souls. So I'm guessing either the monumental herself or himself. I don't remember actually. Either the monumental themselves or the actual Nexus itself has chosen us as one of its demon slayers. Yeah. And maybe that means that she or the monumental had a role in picking us. Like they saw us in a sense, like what we were doing in the tutorial, and made the call and was like, "Oh, that's one. We should get that one." Or the monumental or the Nexus itself is, sentient enough, or has enough of like some kind of function to have chosen us. So either way, we're chosen regardless, and we're locked here fighting for it. Which, some people have a very harsher view on it. Like our buddy over here, I don't think he has given himself a name, but I mean, he's playing the role, the Dark Souls role, the Crestfallen Knight. So he finds it like both. He doesn't like the idea of it, and that's very clear. It's why he's decided to just sit here and let his body rot wherever it is right now. No say. It also trapped these people, which is kind of interesting. Because, I mean, these guys are in body form. I don't know if that's relevant or not. Because maybe this guy's only in body form because he's a Slayer of Demons, and these are different, these guys here. But Baldwin does complain about a lack of tools in this place, so maybe it's possible he cannot leave. He's in like a different state. Actually, I think he does say something about being trapped here. I might have to double check on that. But then Stockpile Thomas is an interesting choice as well, because he's not a very useful guy. The only thing he's doing is literally the only thing he can do here, which is he's just watching over my goods, as well as, you know, imply to other Demon Slayers as well, considering we can see a ton of shit here already, and I really haven't given him that much. But yeah. So I get the Nexus or the Monumental has some kind of system that allows them to pick out people worth taking, that, you know, have what it takes to fight demons, or maybe more so have some sort of use for the Demon Slayers. But anyways, let's double check. I want to make sure I didn't miss any dialogue, and once we do that, we'll start talking about the look of this place.
What's happened? Have you lost your nerve? No matter. Have a seat. We can sit here forever. At least we will be safe.
I think that's his final repeating line, so I think maybe we did already... Yeah, I think
Have you lost your...
maybe we already did talk to him by you.
It's simple. Just bring me all the souls.
Okay, we heard this one. What's this?
Be thankful that I'm still of good health. Be thankful.
Okay, yeah, and that's at the end of that.
Have you any manners?
Yeah, I know. I'm so rude.
Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch on your belongings, rest assured.
I believe you, Thomas. Thomas, yeah.
If only something could be done to help her.
Yes, and then he
have
made
a hand?
comments about the Maiden in Black. We heard that before. I think it might have been the side people that it didn't talk to. So let's see.
Back in the time that I lived below Boletaria Castle, King Alant left on some strange business, then returned with horrible demons in tow. Soon, the land was ravaged by demons and soul-starved madmen. My spine shudders just to think about it. If I did not have my miracle stone shard, a keepsake of my grandfather, I may not have survived.
Interesting. So she speaks of some kind of either residential zone or something like that beneath Boletaria. Now, I believe I know where she's talking about, but I know that this is still not like... As far as I understand, I don't think there's a concrete answer on this, but when we get into 1-2, we'll see an area somewhere off in the distance that is very likely what she's talking about.
If I did not have my miracle stone shard, a keepsake of my grandfather, I may not have survived.
Just noticed it looks like she's sitting... I thought she was sitting on like a map for a second, but that's just like a patterned quilt. She got a little travel sack with wine in it, maybe? And another cup or something like that. Maybe we should keep this on here so that we can look at stuff up close. Some kind of utensil in there, and a cup or a small bowl, something like that. And then there is a box of gems here, which I don't know. Is that could that be her personal belongings possibly, or what she could grab before she ran from the scourge? It's hard to say. She is a faith person. I don't know what her actual role is, or if that's made clear anywhere. But this could be like a collections box, maybe. Whether it's one she's taken maybe from people here, or it's one she took with her when she ran from the scourge and then ended up in the Nexus. It's hard to say. But anyways, yeah, that's her. That's this lady who's a name. I don't think there's a name for this lady. We've got this guy. Is that just his lips, or does he have a stash? He just looks like that, apparently. And he's got his own travel sack with him. Although I don't think... Well, he's got a little box behind him, too. Kind of like hers. Oh, you can see a talisman in it. Yeah. That looks like the talisman of, Beast? No, it's, that might just be Talisman of God, like I think the default one. Anyways, she's wearing just some, like, light leather armor or travel garb or something, but he's got a little bit of armor. He's got, it's like a chainmail, like, head wrapping and some gauntlets and such.
Oh, you must be another disciple of God.
Must I?
I too am on a quest to fight the demons in the name of the Lord.
Well, that's good.
May I share God's power with you? Do not be bashful. We are both cut from the same cloth.
I mean, sure, if you really want, man. So this guy's disciple of God. And these are what he offers. Antidote, a very elementary miracle, cures the user of poisoning. Evacuate, a new miracle found in Boletaria, sends the user back to the Nexus. The Nexus binds... Oh, here we go. The Nexus binds powerful souls. This miracle harnesses that power. That actually helps with what we were just talking about. So I guess there is a requirement, and it has to do with the power of your soul. So I guess when I came in, I was already something of a warrior of note, or at least I had. I guess it's unclear about like the nature of your character's souls versus the souls you've obtained from killing things. And I also I'm not sure if soul gain from like killing things was something that happened pre the Scourge, if that just happened normally or not. But there is a distinction between demons and human souls in this, so maybe we'll learn more about that later. A new miracle. This one... Oh, they both say this. A new miracle found in Boletaria. I'm guessing the part of Boletaria we're in, northern. I think it's northern. Yeah, I think it's northern. Hides the caster's soul, making them harder to be detected by black phantoms. The black phantoms that prowl the land of Boletaria are extremely dangerous, and are the enemies of God and man alike. Well, there you go. Whatever a black phantom is, that would help you hide from it. Oh, and we have heal. Admittedly, I don't remember picking this up. Is this the same? Is this the same one he had? No. A very elementary miracle. Recovers the user's HP. A simple expression of God's power. Holy warriors call upon this miracle during their lonely journeys. Yeah, simple enough. A healing spell. Maybe when we get some more magic and some more magical people to talk to, we talk about the idea that, like, in general, and I know this is kind of pulled from D&D or like older RPGs, but that like faith is more associated with healing, protection, and utility castings, while intelligence and sorcery is associated with mostly violence or like some utility as a means for violence. So yeah, well,
I see. You wish to train yourself in stoicism. Very well.
yeah.
I pray we meet again.
Well, guess what? I'm about to talk to you again, buddy.
Oh, fellow disciple, you seek the power of God?
I do. Well,
A miracle is a heavenly act. But
oh, there we go.
spells are the acts of demons, the work of souls.
I see, I see.
They have similar effects, and yet one is clearly evil, and the other is clearly good.
Yeah, one clearly. Yeah.
Magicians, in the end, are mere servants of the demons.
I see. Interesting. Well, there you have it. Magic and sorcery spring from soul arts, which spring from the arrival of demons and Scourge and the old ones. So, yeah, I guess it really does make sense that these faith users, these worshippers, these disciples of God would be the status quo prior to sorcery and would probably have a bit of an axe to grind with sorcery, so to say, as it's the only thing that's probably ever threatened maybe their position in the hierarchy in this world. I don't know if sorcery has well, actually you can start as a character with sorcery, so there definitely is some sorcery outside of the colorless fog. So it's got to be some out there.
A miracle is a heavenly act.
Okay.
They have
Yeah. I got you, buddy.
I pray.
I got you. And then we have this guy. Classic bowl cut. Is he wearing the same armor as her, but like the male version? No, it's a bit different. Just some more like leather standard armor. He does have a talisman in his hand, as well as some bags. I thought those were leaves for a second. He's got some bags on his back.
I have sinned. I swore allegiance to Saint Urbane, but was of no use to him.
Aw, buddy.
And now I have run away and abandoned his honorableness.
You and Thomas have, you guys would get along.
O Lord, punish me, for I have not the strength to punish myself.
Yeah, see, that's how you can tell the dedicated from the non-dedicated. He knows what he should do.
O honorable one, I hesitate to imagine your present state. Deep within the darkness, where no light shall ever shine. Will you continue to pray, even in such misery? O honorable one, I deep
Okay.
within, will you
Alright, well, we've got a distraught center. I'm sure he'll manage. I'm sure he'll manage. Let's see. So, in playing on my own, I had forgotten this guy existed, so I'm glad I noticed him in my other playthroughs. We can, because it probably would have taken me a while to talk to him if it wasn't for that. But I gotta say, and I don't mean this in poor taste or anything, he looks like Heath Ledger a bit. Just random thing noticed. I hate that the armor clinking keeps playing while I'm doing this binocular thing. Can I have some quiet? There we go. See some books with some writing, can't identify, scrolls, books. You know, we're in between that time of books and scrolls, so the fact that he has both is that's nice. Although, bro, this candle is insanely close to that scroll. I would not. The breeze, I don't know if there's a breeze in here even, but if there is, this is a fire hazard. Anyways.
Are you here to face the demons? If so, please free Sage Frake the Visionary from the Dungeon of Latria. I will help you however I can. I can teach you elementary spells.
I see.
Sage Frake is a gleaming hope for humankind, but I have not the power to save him alone.
Well, there you have it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. His buddy's trapped. Freak's apprentice.
Frake is a great sage who systemized the magic of the soul arts to make it possible for human imitation.
Oh.
By observing the state of Boletaria and the demons within it, he's likely to pave the way for greater things.
Okay.
All the more reason that I must meet Frake as soon as possible.
What a noble reason.
All the more reason that I must meet Frake as soon as possible.
Alright, well, it's interesting to think that people saw... I'm assuming the way this is implied is that they saw demons casting spells, and that's why he went to Latria, because that's where you see it, and was able to convert that into a humanified form. Enchant weapon. High level spell. Is it? I don't know, it doesn't look that crazy. Strengthens right hand weapon, used with catalyst equipped in the left hand. Enchanted weapons have magical properties, making them effective against gold armor and hard scales that resist physical attacks. Gold armor is interestingly specific. I'm trying to think of... I mean, I know there is some gold armor you can wear, but I'm trying to think of anything that actually wears gold armor that's like a regular enemy. Well, anyways. Protection, a high-level spell, slightly reduces damage taken. This spell is only effective against protecting its user from physical attacks. Well, it's not great. These are two high-level, and these are two support spells, apparently. Cloak, support spell, hides one's presence, making it difficult to be detected by enemies. This spell can be useful when sneaking up behind an enemy or when making a quiet escape. Interesting, because this is kind of like a... This might be a better version of the same thing that the cleric over there had, since it applies to all enemies. Although the way that wording might be to specify it being harder to get detected by invading Black Phantom, so like other players invading you, and that this one applies to in-game enemies, and they both serve like essentially a different purpose. But I'm not sure. I haven't used either. Still, maybe there's a chance that like maybe the intention here is to show like, oh, magic is doing similar things, but better than miracles. So maybe that's why it's extra an affront to God, the idea that it is a better version than the kind of miracle he can grant one of his disciples. And then Demon's Prank. Support spell. Generates a loud sound in a far-off place. It has little direct effect, so the caster must think creatively to use it. I imagine this is similar to throwing a soul remains to attract an enemy to it, but yeah.
I see. Suit yourself. Just ensure that you rescue Sage Frake as quickly as possible.
Yeah, sure thing, bud. We'll get around to it. Now, let's go... I want to go back to the Monumental because for one, I don't remember if I really exhausted her dialogue. And I want to be sure, because I imagine when it comes to like baseline lore stuff, the Monumental's probably the best thing. If you've noticed the screen tearing, I'm sorry, I looked around and I couldn't find a seemingly consistent solution for it. I might still try and look, because I know it's probably bothersome, but even now that my I've had more shaders compiled, it doesn't seem to fix the audio bug, because I was trying VSync on another character for a bit. And no difference really. I remember someone saying once that these people look a bit wooden, like almost like yeah, the corpses are one thing, but you look over here at the one living monumental, and there are those kind of streaks, this kind of resemblance, some resemblance to like a smoothly carved wood. And it's also not a character that speaks, they speak telepathically. I don't know if that's the intention of the original game. I know in the remake where they have lip sync, this is one of the few characters that does not open their mouth to speak. So maybe that's indicated somewhere in the original game, which is how we know that. But maybe we'll find it somewhere else in the original. That would be cool. Oh, especially those hands. But also, like, not moving very much. The only thing that would make me, like, about the wood thing is the breathing. It's a bit weird. But, yeah, anyways.
The monumentals perished, and the archstones long forgotten. And the short-sighted King Alant once again aroused the Old One.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember us hearing that before.
The monumentals perished, and the short...
Okay. Alright, well that's everyone but the Firekeep, or the Maiden in Black, which I think we already talked to, so let's talk about this place a little bit. This place is kind of crazy. What it is... Man, I might be remembering wrong. My understanding was that the Nexus was either where the Old One was originally, or it was made to imprison him. I think it's where he was... I think it was made when the original Scourge happened to imprison him. And then it was used as a prison, of course, until the second Scourge happened, which now it's a hub once more for people trying to end the Scourge, to restore order, so the world might be mended, as that Maiden in Black says. But what it is, I don't know. If it's a location not really built by human hands, if this is something formed through the soul arts as a counteracting hub for the original Scourge, then I mean, we can only apply so much of like, oh, you know, could a human have really built this? But in this universe, I mean, they probably could have built it either way. But like the meaning behind a lot of these things is what you might question. There's a lot of archstones in this big statue. Almost fell off. And then one great sword and one spear. What that could symbolize, I'm not sure, because I feel like if it was just a sword, it would be much easier to write it off and say it's like, oh, it's just, you know, it's for cutscene that comes later. But also, it's, you know, if a statue's going to have anything, a sword in this context is a given. This is a place meant to represent warriors, a hub for warriors, so having, like, imagery like this is understandable. I just wonder if the spear is supposed to represent something else. Now, not to get not to get a bit religious, but since this game is one god, and there is mentions of demons, I don't know how intentional any crossover with Christianity is, or how accidental it might be, or if this is meant to be a world that is like the religion, the disciples of God are technically like Christians in some way. Not sure. The only reason I bring that up is because the one thing that this would make me think of is the Spear of Destiny. But who can say? Who can say? Maybe there's something in classic statue design about a spear and a sword, like the meaning behind those things. A sword is kind of like classic, like righteous warrior or like defender, and a spear is more, maybe more offensive in nature. It's not a inherently defensive weapon. I wouldn't say that, I suppose. So maybe it's meant to represent both the defense of our world and the fight against the demons, both all in one. Because the sword is not held in like any kind of attacking position. It's held in like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a neutral pose. It's essentially like laid down, whereas the spear is like at the ready. So yeah, it sums up. You got all kinds of like little swirls on the architecture, but you know, the meaning of those things, it could be anything really. Let's see about the up here. I know we've got all our monumentals, all the what's left of them laying about, and more statues of maidens of some kind. They look different than monumentals, so what they may represent, anyone's guess? Maybe, I don't know, this is kind of far up. I was going to say maybe this was like, almost like a council room where like people down below would converse with the monumentals up here and they would speak down at them. Almost like Star Wars prequels, like Senate style, but it's a bit far. I don't think that's the case. I think maybe this is just how they happen to line themselves up as they begin to die, for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Oh, and then these statues are upside down. The upside down statues, I have an idea what that could mean, but it would have to do with something very late in the game, so we'll just put that in the back pocket, and we'll talk about it at probably the last episode, if I'm being honest. But yeah, not much else to say up here. It does seem like there's a candle up top for every monumental, and that they all also have a candle in front of them. So that's something. Let's go look at the lower level. The lower level. The archstones have some pretty interesting designs. Each of them given to an elder, and essentially a land to care for. Or maybe one they already cared for, but like, not sure. I'm really not sure. Maybe post the Scourge, the original Scourge, so much of the leadership in the world was destroyed or corrupted or whatever, that these were new leaders installed in place in these locations that were key to the original Scourge, or like the most affected. But yeah, I can't say for certain. And I'm gonna be saying can't say for certain a lot, so it's it is part of the beauty of it, is that who knows, maybe I could be right, I could be super wrong, I could say something no one's ever said before about these games. Hard to say. And here, of course, we have the big statue is upside down as well, facing this way. towards this giant hole that, who knows what this is made of. It's made of magic, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe this is like the cell door to the old one's prison. Maybe. Something like that. We have another maiden statue here, one with a candle. And then there's 2 candles in this little back setup. This has 6 triangles, so I'm guessing that has to do with 6 archstones. Not that we'll see all 6, because, I mean, you know how the game... You probably know how the game is, if you're here. One of them was just scrapped content. Right over there. No Mountaintop of the Giants in this game. But we do have these. Now, I was thinking about that. That's at the top of each. I think that is, as simply put, I think that is just a representation of the sun above these areas. And, you know, like the sun shining down on things easily could be a symbol of, like, prosperity and longevity and such, and just goodness in general. So, you know, when they made these archstones, they were, a hopeful future was in mind, so I'm not surprised by that choice. You then have a book with some wings on it. At least I think those are wings. I mean, they look similar to the wings below. I'm gonna say it's a safe bet they're wings, and they all have this. Again, it could be anything. So in this case, I'm gonna let my headcanon fill the gap in, which is that, in my mind, this is like the decree that each elder made to protect their land and to not pursue the power of souls and demon souls and arouse the old one again. It was almost like a binding agreement. That might just be like the main page of it that has the agreed upon degree. That would be my guess. Then you have the little imagery we saw in the cutscene, which is each of these. These remind me of I don't know what they're called or it's been a long time since I've had them. There's like this chocolate brand that is shaped just like these, and it has like little imagery on it that's similar to this, but I can't think of it right now. But here we have 1-1. We've got some. Let me get a little closer, actually. Got some symbols on it. 2 spearmen and a shield that features dragons. I assume so. I think dragons are. Oh, we read Did we read something about dragons being associated with defense? The yellow dragon signifies a soldier's low rank. No, maybe not yet. Maybe I'm thinking of a different thing, but if it's a shield and it's got dragons on it, and then whatever that is, that might just be symbols? I don't know. Maybe that's a symbol we'll see on something later and we'll be able to pin it. But those are safe. It's a safe bet those are dragons, I think. And I think the idea here is the shield is protecting against these 2 things, whatever they may be. Maybe this is meant to represent demons or those who use soul power. Because it's so abstract. I don't know. Oh, maybe not. Because this is the king at the time up there, and he's got the same symbol on his. I think it might be part of his headdress or something, like some kind of wrapping around his neck. So maybe that's the symbol of Boletaria. I don't know that that's the symbol of Boletaria itself. Maybe that's the symbol of the old king, the symbol of like royalty. there's no, I don't think there's any saying, at least not until we have more information, but those would be my first guesses. Something I find nice here is that these knights, I don't think we see anything like this in design. They might have different helmets. I don't know if that's just the texture being a bit weird, but it looks like they have different helmets. And they don't really appear too much like anyone we've seen so far. Like, they've got some similar designs to some of the enemies we've seen so far, but as far as I understand, this is the former king, and maybe even like the former king. Not 100% certain. But these could be ancient. They're older armor style that we don't see none of that anymore. King's got a sword, gold sword, normal sword behind the shield, so I guess maybe an emphasis on safety and being prepared, but not seeking war or anything like that. And the soldiers are at guard, so it's just we're ready for something if something were to happen. He does have a circle around his head. Do the others have that? No. I think if that's the case, a circle could symbolize like something of holiness, like a perfect circle like that. I think there might be something biblical about the circle being a representation of holiness or godliness or something like that, but I'm not sure. And then the wings. I have a simple interpretation of the wings. If the sun is up top and the sun is good prosperity, longevity, and righteousness, something like that, and the rules or the agreement to not screw around with this evil stuff again and to work together to make sure there's never another scourge is up higher, it's closer to that idea of righteousness, then this having wings as well might be to symbolize the idea of striving for this, always. Even if you can't necessarily reach it, always striving for goodness. That is my guess. But either way, I really like the imagery here. The only thing I didn't talk about was the tree. And I think this one's easy enough. The tree is connected to the rules, and the tree is rooted in the Archstone. The idea that these ideals, this agreement, is rooted in this, which is representative of the new rule of Boletaria post the last scourge. So just another thing to like emphasize the idea of like we have to stick to this no matter what. We cannot let things get that bad again. And I really like it. I really like the Archstone design here. As for the others, with how much we got out of that one, I'm thinking maybe the fun way to do this would be to do it as we enter that one, so we can get like some. The speculation is in tandem with us entering the land, so we'll do that. So for now, that's our speculation on the Old King's. What the hell is this called? Archstone. Yeah. Let's see. That's kind of interesting. It looks like a clock, almost. I don't think there's going to be too much more to talk about, but the one thing I want to hit before we go is this message room here of dev guidance for casuals, you know. I mean, they're gonna be there, you know. They're gonna play the game. Might as well, right? I didn't notice this on the back. What is that? Well, no, hold on. I want to see now. Can I see it on this one easier? Okay. That makes me think of the moon. I don't know that that's supposed to represent the moon. I'm pretty sure it is, though. And that there's a little, that looks like a little archstone slash. So yeah, I think this is definitely supposed to be the sun, and then you have the moon on the back. That's really cool, actually. Huh. Damn, I almost missed that too. I think that's why this is more fun to do blind, is because it really does encourage me to look closely, and I genuinely feel like, as is the case with many Souls games, I feel very rewarded for looking closely. There's just so much cool stuff to see. And then there's sometimes a bit of nonsense too. What these cubes are, it's a parkour challenge. I don't know why else they would be there. It's just architecture you're supposed to parkour on. See, it's a nice balance. The sun and moon thing, super fucking awesome. The cubes, they want you to follow your death. It's very cool. Now we have this. Before I hit any of these lovely messages, this room is fascinating to me, because this totally looks like an exit. And it makes me think there might be some bit of lore out there about this place having once been connected to the real world somewhere. Hell, maybe it still is. We don't know. We can't walk out of the building. And there is light coming down. So we could be in a silly little pocket dimension, and we also could be in some real part of Boletaria. But I imagine the pocket dimension idea, or the idea that it was once a real place that got moved into some sort of pocket dimension, is more likely, because closing it up like this seems like it would be a silly thing to do, and so yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyways, let me open a drink real quick. I'm getting a little parched already. Alright, much better. Okay. Here we go. So we'll just go through these real quick, and unless they have something really interesting to talk about. Upon a successful parry, you have the chance to riposte. With no stamina, your shield defense is ineffective. Of course, yes, we know. Stamina is consumed by attacking, blocking with shields, and sprinting. When your stamina bar depletes, you cannot perform actions which consume stamina. If you lack certain ability points, your weapon will be useless. If you are overburdened with equipment, your movement speed will be drastically decreased. Using a weapon with both hands causes your strength to be enhanced by 50%. If you use a weapon with both hands, you can break an enemy's guard. This is something I learned very recently, did not know. I don't know if this applies to other Souls games as well. I think it isn't as consistent, but the idea here is if you're hitting something where your weapon is bouncing off in this game, so like a grid shield, two-handing stops you from bouncing off, which is something you might do if you're hitting a shield anyway, switch to two-hand, but it's actually like a solid rule here. It will not, as far as I understand, it will not make your attack bounce off the way you would a wall. Or I guess bouncing off a shield is a bit different from a wall, but it's just a similar example. When in soul form, your HP is halved. Yes, of course. When a weapon becomes worn, its durability is low. Its attack power decreases. The blacksmith can repair weapons that have become worn. To use spells and miracles, you must first learn them. Well, no shit. Learned spells and miracles cannot be used unless you memorize them. There is a limit to the number of spells and miracles. Oh, spells and miracles not capitalized. Not capitalized. There is a limit to the number of spells and miracles that can be memorized. You must equip a catalyst to use spells. You must equip a talisman to use miracles. Alright, I think these last ones are the more interesting ones. You can leave a message with the select button. These messages are sent to other worlds. Phantoms are warriors of another world, much like the one you fight in now. When you die, a bloodstain will be left at the location of your death. If you touch your own bloodstain... Oh man, I really hope the mic caught those sirens. It really just adds on to the Let's Play. If you touch your own bloodstain, you can regain the souls you lost upon death. If you touch another warrior's bloodstain, you can view the manner in which he or she died. And if tendency is closer to black, demons will pose more of a threat. Pay attention to the tendency of the world's souls. If tendency is closer to white, the demon's powers are weakened. Alright. As far as tendency goes in terms of explanation, I don't envy a new player, but I still think it's very good at providing an interesting experience. But either way, that is the Nexus for now. I don't think we missed any item descriptions. Oh, I forgot I got the plate armor. A little lighter. Rings, yeah. Turpentine. Okay. Let's see what we can do armor-wise. I would like to keep using a shield. That puts us at 5.5 out of 47. Let's go plate. 15 out of 47. We can do up to 23.5. Ooh. That's really close. We can put 1.5 on. That's not very much. Alright, well I guess for the moment this is what we're gonna be rocking.
Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch on your belongings, rest assured.
I trust you, bud. I trust you. Put this away. We'll hold on to the rest. Sorry. I'm trying to make sure I'm not skipping any dialogue, but it may happen sometimes. Alright. Let's get into it. We're gonna do, before we go right into 1-2, well actually we're gonna go a little bit into it and then we're gonna pull out for a second because I want to go back to the little dragon area and go about nabbing ourselves some of the items over there. I don't remember if it works that way, if we'll be safe, but we'll go find out together. It'll be fun. Got some more, a remnant of Phalanax from more lead, I guess lesser lead demons, maybe? I'll have something to I guess, oh hey, there, the symbol up there matches the symbol on their shield, I think. Yeah, pretty much. Am I moving over, buddy? Am I scooting? Ow. Alright, we'll go a different way. Almost a one shot. Wait, would I bounce off the shield with one hand here? I want to test it. Yeah! There you go. You know something I just noticed is that when their spears detonate, it detonates with like a gooey kind of explosion, like a purple goo. Similar to, of course, well, you know what they're made of. They're made of, I guess, liquefied lead. And so, while the shields are not part of them, because they remain... Wait? Oh, hold on. I might be completely wrong here. Oh, that's not a great view of it. The shield is actually oozing. So either that's just because it was holding it, and it's like the ooze is still remaining, or this is also made out of like the goo. I'm not sure, but I think the spears definitely are because of the way they shatter, and the way they can just keep reforming them, made of like quickly made of their own substance, which is again I'm just guessing that it's lead. But that's cool. That's interesting. It's also cracked. Maybe that's because I don't know how good lead would be as like weapons in a shield. So maybe that's the reason for that. But anyways, yes, here. So as I was kind of saying before, that this might be like a trading hub, a market area of some kind. Through here, we see more carriages, horses, more items, a cage, chariot. Carriage. It's just a carriage. It's not a chariot. What the hell am I talking about? But yeah, this definitely looks to me like a place to park the old car, the old sedan. This being said sedan, a very unfortunate horse. But yeah, I think that's what this room is. Are those rafters? No, I think that's just the ceiling. But yeah, there's a little place here to eat. There's some weapons, a chest, weapon racks. I mean, a lot of these weapon things are probably something that was placed here post this area falling apart from what it once was. And I guess, you know, these shields using the symbol from up here, I wonder if these people are supposed to be people that Phalanx consumed, like people that were still here, and maybe turned them into the lesser lead demons, and then maybe it pulls from their memory, or maybe Phalanx was pulling from its memory of the nearby location, and so it used that symbol. Because this seems like a symbol of Boletaria to me. Or I'm pretty sure it is based on... No, it definitely is because the banner's on the wall, but you wonder why a demon that could give less of a shit about Boletaria as like a state would represent its symbol like that. So maybe it's just pulling from the memories of its victims, or maybe just the souls it's gained from consuming humans. Who's to say? We do know that... Well, actually, we don't know that, so never mind. We'll talk about that lore later. We have a guy here. He's glowing.
Hello? You yonder. Over here. It's me, Ostrava.
Hi, Ostrava.
Look at me. Again surrounded by evil warriors. Could you, perhaps, help me one last time? Clear out the soldiers at the far end of this passage, if it pleases you. The Lord's Path, just down yonder, has degenerated into a feeding ground for flying dragons. Have your wits about you.
Okay. The Lord's Path. Can we talk again? No. Okay. That's fine. It has devolved into a feeding ground of dragons. The Lord's Path. So I'm guessing by name it's simple as it sounds. Got more stairways built for carriages. Again, I don't know, it's just a cool detail. I just like seeing that. We're gonna let this thing happen. Oh, there he is. Flying in. Go overhead. And he's gonna do that to us. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go see if he still appears. Oh, I missed this item. We're gonna go see if he still appears in his prior location. There are some very nice items there that I would like to get. And if he's gone, it's much easier to deal with the one remaining dragon, the blue dragon, because no AoE fire breath to worry about. I definitely would like to stay alive because I don't want to lower any tendencies just yet. But I want to stay in human form for as much of this playthrough as I can. It was a great start. A really great start. A little more used to the playstyle I had on my other character. It's a bit more aggressive, bigger, slower weapons, and also has some really great regen. Something not here. But let's keep moving. Go through here a little faster, considering we I've already made the trip before. I would like some more hardstone. Oh, look at that. Ask and ye shall receive. It's just as simple as that. Get these throwing knives off my bar, please. Oh. Oh. Don't throw those at me, man. And I thought with the Thieves' Ring on it'd be a little harder to detect. Those guys came down so quickly for me. God damn. Let's see. If the dragon appears here, I'm going to assume it's safe to say he's still gonna be on that ledge over there when we go, but let's find out. I think I said this in the last video, but it's really nice to play a little bit of Sword and Board again. It feels like outright bread and butter Dark Souls to be blocking and parrying. I don't hear any dragon coming, and I feel like he would be here already if he was gonna be here. Ow. Fucker. Ooh. Thankfully our damage is quite good now. Ow. Ow. Quick recovery, my guy. Alright. On we go. Keep using Half Moon because I don't have a lot of Crescent right now. Nice, nice. Let's see. What are we seeing out here? Oh, hey, look, that's the heater shield. Oh, come on. Really? No. Well, we're gonna deal with the orange dragon at a certain point. And so I'm not gonna worry about making the risk for that now. I don't think that's very worth it at the moment. Another thing I don't know that I mentioned in the previous video is that we will be going through the Archstones in order to completion. So we'll go from, we'll do 1-1, 1-2, then 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, and so on. And we'll come back to 1-3, and then 1-4 once we're completed with every other world. So just gonna do it like fairly chronologically, essentially. How is that not late enough? Make it make sense. What I really wanted from behind those dragons was a there's a equip load ring, which would have allowed us to wear a bit more of our armor sooner than later. And it really would have been nice, but anyways, the as for the orange dragon, I think once we complete this area, we might go about dealing with that, depending on... Do I have access to a bow right now? I might have put one away if I did. Well, now I'm gonna wait more. Actually, we'll talk about this view once I get to the first tower, just so I can see better. Yeah, that's pretty tight. It's a pretty tight little run right there. What's this? A little crescent moon. Oh, he's so loud, isn't he? Oh, so delightfully loud. Ow. I might turn the sound down while we're up here looking, because this is gonna be potentially quite obnoxious. Because he's just gonna keep going. He does not care. Let's do that, in fact. How loud is that? That's fine, because you can still hear it a little bit. Alright. So that's the portion of the castle we came from, obviously. And we're breaking out on this bridge, heading over a valley. A pretty steep valley at the looks of it, so I imagine since this is the more main part of the castle, this was a later addition, or maybe this was much smaller earlier and got built up more. Either way, I figured they all weren't built at once, because we can see this section here has a whole outer wall of its own. And so I figure this is probably a later edition. Maybe after the first Scourge, maybe. Or maybe during it, who knows. But here, we can see a whole city. A whole city of its own. Obviously the distance is a bit flubbed. It's really not that far from us, but they're doing some neat tricks with the models to make it look much further. Definitely looks not as grandiose nor as defensible as the castle that we're in, the part of Boletaria that we're in. But I think it's very safe to assume, and most people believe this as well, that the lady, the disciple of God, when she said she lived in a city below Boletaria, this is probably the only thing you could conclude she's talking about. Unless the Valley of Defilement is directly below Boletaria and she came from there, which it seems unlikely. Especially because we can see what very much looks like a church, or at least a place of worship here, and so this is probably somewhere she served as a little girl. See a couple of these. Oh, this one is the only one I see actually. It looks like a bit more of a monument than a building. But it's got a full outer wall, and there's even a little road in the distance you can kind of see. That's so hard with how I think the depth of field is what's preventing us. But yeah, there's a few small houses down there. That's pretty cool. We never go there in any way, but it does show what looks to be a much more residential area. Like this looks like homes and marketplaces based on how separated all the buildings are and somewhat similar in design. Whereas this is much more of the main castle, probably where the richest would live, of course, but also like royals, officials, those high in the church, and people would probably come to trade, that's for sure. I mean, that's what we're seeing now with this, with this dragon out of the way. This is a place to store things, like carriages, and, bringing your goods into the main city. It's very likely there's another entrance, but this might be like the famous entrance, like the entrance. So yeah, and that's us. We're on our Lord's path, and by the implication of that, we're on our way to meet the Lord, the Lord of the land. And based on the framing of this unique arch-like mountain, I mean, that's probably him, right? But now we can only assume. There's these little guard towers across the bridge as well that we're hitting. Alright, at the moment I'm gonna take a real quick bathroom break. Hello, I'm back. I realized that I may have been recording in 30 FPS for both this and the last session, which I'm not 100% sure about the last session. At least I know that the first hour of this definitely has 30 FPS limit. So, well, that's a shame. At least it was mostly just looking at the Nexus. And also, I mean, it's Demon Souls, I mean. It's good to have a little bit of the original experience in there, right? Oh, he stops when I'm down here. Oh, what a relief. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Oh, he's circling. I see. Interesting. Alright, so now, as we head down this tower, we are going to enter this little underground kind of tunnel system, which is probably intended for the soldiers to move through more easily, like underneath the crowds, when it's quite busy here. Or to, like, you know, if this was built with dragons in mind, to temporarily escape their unrelenting flames, as we've had to listen to so graciously. But let's get going. Let's see what it's like down here. Oh, where is that? Sorry, that scared the shit out of me. It's a Souls game, and I hear a dog. I mean, you know how it is, if you've played any of these. Let's move very carefully. We're not very strong yet. We have to. We gotta play with a little bit of that stockpile Thomas strategy. That is like a coward. If I had a daughter in this situation, I would abandon her. For my own life, of course. Doggy? Doggy? Yes. Oh! You son of a bitch. He was just waiting. And he dropped a mail breaker. That's weird. I wonder if he's supposed to drop that, or if I got lucky and that's just one of his drops. Oh, I see. Oh, that's kind of dark. I see 2 archers up ahead. Can you break that cover for me? Thank you. More than 2. Why don't you shoot? Did I just see a dog back there? No, I saw an item. And another archer. I gotta remember I'm not healing inherently. I keep thinking of the other build. There we go. Ring of Gash resistance. I know we gotta look at that and the wooden catalyst, but I think we'll do, unless it's really, unless it's a big area that we're gonna be moving through for a long time. Oh! I thought there were dogs between you and me, Ostrava. I guess those guys are the other way.
Thank you. That makes twice. Thanks to you, I can now forge ahead. This is a token of my gratitude. Please accept it.
Thank you.
This is bad. Not a single person left. Why on earth? How did all of this happen? Father!
Oh. Oh, the angst.
How did all of this happen?
Okay, it's the same one. So, not a single sane person, is the implication by that. Which I guess that means he definitely didn't run into Dreglin. Little unfortunate. Dregling's a nice guy. He might have pickpocketed something off Ostrava, given how Ostrava is, but yeah, I mean, even so, I don't think it would change Ostrava's mind about how bad things are. And of course, he proclaims father as if his father is responsible for this. Which, well, I mean, we know who's responsible for the Scourge already, so... And he's clearly... He's an upperclassman. So he's definitely a son of Allant. It's a pretty safe bet at this point. And we've only been through 2 levels. I do think it's interesting, from a game design perspective, how much more straightforward Ostrava's quest has been than most later game Souls NPCs. We ran into him once, he asked for help, we helped him, he talked to us, he gave us an item. We ran into him a second time, he asked us for help, we helped him, he gave us an item. And that was that. That's something. Not to say there aren't quests that are that simple in the later Souls games either. But it is just interesting. This is like the first quest that most people see in Demon Souls. And I'm not going to pretend that there aren't future steps of it. I know that might make things difficult. But we'll see how I fare. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine with his quest. If I fail any other quests along the way, that's unfortunate, but I am trying my best. I want to get as many of them as I can. I know there's another Dregling hiding right there. I'm just very afraid of dogs. Both in real life and in this video game. Well, I'm not deathly afraid of them in real life. It's more so like I can get a little when you're walking by down the road and someone has a big dog that appears to not be fond of you. Oh, there they are. And man, look at those things. They are rabid. Can I get a good view of you at all? That's not great. If I break this, will he know? No. Okay. Ah. Okay, so this is really hard to see. Normally, most players won't see this because they'll aggro the dogs and then they need to kill the dogs as fast as possible. But for one, the dogs have these blades put on their outer maw. I guess to deal more damage. I don't know that would work. Maybe by accident. I don't know. But I suppose they're equipped like this to maybe help dispatch soul-starved, or something like that. That's the only thing I can imagine. They also have one bad eye, and you can actually see it quite well here. It is a detail that is easy to miss, but it looks like they're blind in one eye. They also look, of course, completely rabid, and their coats look completely matted. That almost rhymed. But, oh, let's face our fate as a slayer of dogs. Do they all chain aggro, or is it just, can I get just one? The movement. Wow. Ooh. I think I got just one. Ow. Nice. They just kind of look like mutts, though. They don't look like any specific breed to me. But I don't know my dog breeds all that well, so... They have a funny aggro, or a funny, what's the word I'm looking for? Ragdoll. Because they look like a human wearing a dog costume falling over when they do. Not a dog. Thank goodness I can pull one of these at once. That makes this so much easier. to do without dying, that is. Oh, shit. Alright, that went fairly well. We've got a, Who's walking? I don't like that. Another view of the city. You can tell from like the layout of the area, they definitely were intending to keep making these views in case you missed it. You can also see the dragon still flying around, which is quite cool. And then yeah. And that lake over there. The Great Lake of Boletaria as we know it. Hey, buddy. This is a weird place for him to be, but nonetheless.
Ah, we meet again. Fancy that. Hope you find something that suits you.
I hope so too. Well, you know. Wait. Am I not wielding a longsword? Am I crazy?
Hard times, eh? I'm sure you'll turn things around.
What am I wielding? This is a longsword. Is it not saying I'm holding one because it's 2+, so it's like technically a unique item?
Hello, what can I do for you?
Items, you can do me items. Oh, the broadsword. It's more dex scaling in this one. A straight sword with a wide blade made especially for slashing. A slashing weapon that inflicts heavy damage on soft flesh, but has a limited effect on metal, armor, and hard scales. Still, its thrust attacks make up for that weakness. Broadsword has a thrust attack in Demon Souls. That does not stay later. And then, of course, the Claymore. Classic type, large sword. A very large straight sword. It is as versatile as the straight sword, but its heaviness essentially requires it to be used with both hands. Its crushing blows rapidly deplete an opponent's stamina, easily breaking their guard. I may come back and get this, and we may switch to this later in the playthrough. I want to use the straight sword for a good while. I want to play this game with a very normal weapon, and I want to feel that out. I don't really care about the broadsword, and this is expensive, so like I said, I'll come back and get it later. But let's read some of these. I think I have read some of these, but a small crossbow in general use amongst the soldiers of Boletaria. It is an easy-to-handle ranged weapon. Crossbows require bolts to be equipped in order to fire. They cannot be aimed, and reloading takes time. A small wooden shield. It is lighter than a metal shield, but because it has low damage absorption rate and durability, it breaks easily. Soldier's shield. A small wooden shield used by soldiers with strategic points reinforced by metal. Its durability is higher than that of an ordinary wooden shield. And of course, the slave's shield. Wait, I think he had this before. I think I didn't read his shop items before, unfortunately. A shabby wooden shield used by slave soldiers, made only of collected wood shavings. It is merely a substitute. In all honesty, calling this a shield is somewhat dubious. Dubious. I read those. A shabby wooden club. Blunt weapons are effective against metal armor and hard scales, as well as draining the target's stamina and breaking their shield defense. Following through with one swing and landing the hit will deal a direct hit, which does more damage than normal. Yay! He's got the same set of armor as well. And he does not sell a bow. I was really hoping to get a bow from him, and he only sells bolts as well. But just so we can hear his dialogue for buying something, we'll buy one thing from him.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was worth it, huh?
What can it is the end of Great Boletaria as we know it.
Oh,
But
okay.
hell, at
It was the
least
same
the
line as
demons
before.
don't send us to our deaths in battle.
Oh, it's just as funny the second time, I swear, this
The
guy.
giant lizard.
Oh.
One of the king's pets, just like those demons. That monster leaves a trail of charred carcasses, which is great for business, of course. But unless you're a scavenger like me, you better stay clear.
So the dragon is one of Alant's pets? That's kind of weird.
It is the end of...
Hold on, can I hear that again?
That monster leaves a trail of charred carcasses, which is great for business, of course. But unless you're a scavenger like me, you better stay clear. It is the end.
Wait, did he not say it the second time?
That monster leaves a trail of charred carcasses, which is great for business.
Oh,
of
he doesn't
course.
say it again.
But unless
Okay.
you're a scavenger.
Well, he said it's one of the king's pets, which is interesting. I did not know that. I guess maybe, or I don't know if they are counted as demons, I believe. So I guess when he went in on his strange business and fetched the demons, he got some dragon pets out of it. It's also worth noting, for some lore we'll see in the next area, that what he stated, he called it a lizard, and while that might just sound like a funny thing to call a dragon, because it's like a giant lizard, or like a dinosaur, that might be relevant to something we learn in 2.1 and 2.2 and so on. So keep that in mind. I think there is some intention behind that wording.
Hard times, eh? I'm sure you'll turn things around.
Also, he already said it. I was gonna comment on it, but he already said it. Of course, he's here because there is so much loot to take from here, with all the charred corpses. I'm sure. I mean, it sounds like he's having a ball. Not very surprising. Alright, we've seen... Ooh, okay, well that's nice to start with. I don't know if that's the best bow I have access to right now. I might see if I can get a regular longbow from maybe Baldwin or something. Hey guys. And... is that Ostrava? Yeah, there he is. He's walking his little loop. After you save him, he always walks a little loop in the nearby area, for whatever reason. Alright, we're heading towards the big city. Alright, that's where the fire starts. Good to know. Thank you for that, dragon. Do it again. I think the carriage is intentionally placed as a bit of a marker here for you as a player. I should have started running a bit quicker than that. Yeah, that's good enough. Hey, big tough guy. That's the attack I didn't expect. I thought you were gonna do the other one. Hey! No grass eating. No grass eating. We got more blue knights. I don't know if it's right to call them like blue-eyed knights. They're not really blue-eyed, they're sort of blue-faced, but I don't know why. Blue eyes just like makes more sense to me in my head. I don't know. Maybe because I'm thinking of blue eyes. Blue-eyed dragon. Alright, we've reached an endpoint, the end of the Lord's Path, I suppose. So let's go check the top of this tower out and get this really quickly. Oh no. Okay, one-handed R. Oh my. No. Okay, two-handed R1s? Okay. This weapon is not great for killing that enemy. Can I get you out of the corner so I can show you off a bit? Because this is the first one of these we've seen, I think. This... Oh, he rolled down the stairs like a little hot dog. Okay. This is a crystal lizard. He's shaking like he's still alive, but he's not still alive, that's for sure. He's very cute. He just looks cold right now. They look like a big salamander with some beautiful bejeweled textures on his back. And he's much more sparkly when he's alive, that's for sure. But he carried some goodies for us, some good weapon mats, upgrade mats or materials. And we'll be seeing those throughout the game. But yeah, that's I believe that's the first one you can technically get to on a first playthrough. So, we'll go up a little further. These were the fuckers that were shooting at us from above when we were approaching. So get fucked. Some more delicious grass. A stone of ephemeral eyes. And a soul. Another view of this tower here. And this arch. I really love the way that the game like frames this area with the arch. Because imagine if this was just a mountain in the background or just an empty blue sky and you had the tower was more of the focus. It would be something, but this is more unique to me. This stands out a little bit amongst like fantasy of a similar design, and it's really memorable, I think. It's a cool look. If anything, the mountain is like almost like a big highlighting circle to point your direction to the tower that is like it lines up with. It's quite cool. I think it's very cool. Alright, we're at the boss. And before we go into the boss, believe it or not, I'm going to pee again, so. Here. Okay, we're back. Again. Now that we have a fog gate here, we can see an interesting effect. Now I can't recall, I have played this on the PS3 originally. I don't recall how much this effect differs on the PS3, if at all, because I don't know if the alterations to the frame rate and quality and such are changing it here, but as you can see, it very much like warps my figure and my objects more intensely the closer I get to it. This could mean nothing. This could be just a cool graphical effect they were able to pull off. You can kind of see it resetting when I move my camera a certain amount, but maybe that's an indication of the colorless fog having like more than just a foggy effect when it's near, but also like it warps maybe your perception of reality, and that's another reason it's so dangerous, you know, something like that. I'm not sure. It could, again, it just could be a very cool effect. Now, through the gate, we can see a pretty cool guy. We can also see some archers. Mostly a wall. That's best described as a wall. It's a bit too big to be a shield. But there's also a lance. I think it's either a lance or a spear, but it's always looked a lot more like a lance to me. Maybe I'll change my opinion when I look a bit closer in a minute. But this is a big open courtyard. Some statues of possibly blue or red-eyed knights. You can tell by the shield and the armor. Some more over here. And then there is a, it's a bit hard to see, I think. Well, there's a crest on the wall, or like a shield up there. Ceremonially mounted shield, but we won't be able to see that till after we're done. I'll talk about his design once I'm done in here so that I don't die. But other than that, let's enjoy the wonderful music. Look at that. Quite the armor set. And a fat man. I won't add to that, I'm sorry. It's just force of habit. It's such a great song. It really gets stuck in my head. Ow! You can show it off a bit here. I can't believe that doesn't hit me. That's so scary. But he's got a big soul magic cast, or his lance becomes like soul magic, and he can yeet it like that. It's pretty cool. The other thing I just noticed is that we can see the orange dragon right over there. He's still loaded in. That's really cool. They didn't have to do that one, that's for sure. I might have saved them on performance too. But anyways, let's deal with the problems. No, don't fall off. That's... Oh, the fall killed them? Okay, never mind, that's fine. Get down there. Get down there. We'll talk about the purpose of what this courtyard was likely used for as well when we're done, because there's some pretty good speculation on it at this point. Oh shit, I am not paying enough attention. What the hell? Oh, I don't know why he rolled that way. That was a bit weird. Anyways, let's heal up a little bit. Don't get hit! Alright, it's time for a battle. Let's go, big guy. He's got the feel of... Who is that? Hold on. To me, he's always kind of had the feel of like a living set of armor. That's the vibe I got from this. I don't know that you can see any flesh. I had to check. I had to check. I'm sorry. But I don't think there's any flesh to be seen. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm almost certain it's gotta be a it's a lance, right? It's totally a lance. Ooh. See, the shield also kind of has a bit of its own magic aura to it when he slams it. And I'm not sure if that's just a a choice of particle effect, or if that's also to show off that it is magical in nature. As you can see, when we're damaging the legs here, getting an effect like we're freeing some kind of pressure. What this could be, like, it is a demon, so maybe that's like part of his soul, his big demon soul. I don't know. But that lets us hit the head, and that's exactly what we want. That's quite good. Now, he is called the Tower Knight. I do wonder if it's because he's tall, like a tower. You can see that there is actual damage on his armor. His boot is broken open. Ooh, that one did a lot of damage. Ooh. He just kind of pushes you back with his shield a bit there. Ooh, I thought that was going to damage me. Get moving. Alright, he's done for. Very nice. Clean kill. 8,570. Yeah, let's get that. The Iron Demon's Soul. And we have this interesting door. More fog around it. A thick, colorless fog holds you back. Only those who have slain an archdemon may pass beyond this point. Oh, not even an interact button. Oh, there you are. That's that. Here we can see that crest. And these were all three symbols that were on the Archstone as well. Well, maybe this is not the best place to look at it. We'll see. We can see the one symbol that I'm still not sure the meaning of. That, like, it almost looks like a saint symbol. We see the like dragons. We see the scales, and then there's that ring or that circle with the line through it. That was also on the king's little wrapping on the Archstone. So what that one could symbolize, not sure. Maybe that is for the king himself, is what that symbolizes, isn't it? Can't say for certain. Maybe we'll get an item later that clears that up. Maybe. But this area is interesting in construction, but it's not too hard to kind of fathom what this could have been. Some slight spoiler is that past this gate is more cityscape, and it seems more suburb-like, but like rich. It seems like a rich town is more what that area is like. Whereas this area was very much more defensive castle in structure, outer wall kind of thing. We're now, well, that's an interesting bridge over there. That reminds me of Firelink Shrine. This very much looks kind of like an arena. And from my understanding, the remake seemed to play into that a little bit with some other design choices. But this looks like a place made for public events, you know, maybe things like gladiatorial style matches. That's very possible. But with like all these viewing positions like this, like these are not places for people to shoot arrows from. There's no cover here. This is an open slot. And we know they have, like, the exact thing we're thinking of, which is these. I forget what they're called, but the intention is a small hole for arrows to easily be fired from. So they would have that here if that's what this was supposed to be. And with all these symbols of warriors, it feels very like a very safe bet that this was a it doesn't have a second use kind of location, because yeah, obviously, like, there is probably some trade and travelers that still pass through here. But you know what, maybe I'm gonna adjust some of my earlier ideas about this bridge. I imagine goods might only be brought across this bridge once the trade was, you know, complete and settled, and it was in the possession of someone who lived in the city, and then this was to transfer it back. I think if you didn't live in the city and you had no reason to be in it, that room where Phalanax was probably the farthest you were gonna get. That would be my guess. And that this is the, this would maybe you use as a staging ground for goods, as they're being moved in, and then it would be cleared out for events, I guess. That's most of what I could imagine, and that's theories. That's similar to theories other people have had. This also dead ends here. This little gate that is, with the ceiling above it, it doesn't look like it can raise, but by its design, it must, or it must at least is implied that it can be raised. So these could potentially be like a holding cell where you could put a prisoner in, you know, like you would, like Romans would with gladiators, and then let them out to fight to the death, you know, for the entertainment of others. That is one interpretation, so, you know, if you have a different one, let me know what you think. Let's head back to the Nexus. Oh boy. Did this happen in the first episode? I do not remember. What I didn't notice is that she's got like an ankle bracelet. Is that just a bracelet, or is that like a shackle? I think it's just a bracelet, because I don't see any chain. And her feet are very dirty. Yeah. I know what you are. Hey, her thing's not lit. Is it usually not lit? I'm not sure now. You can see those wax-coated eyes. There's a little eyeball, like, pendant on her shirt. I realized I didn't look very closely at her outfit before. She has a necklace. And a, like, what's that, like, tighter, like, collar-like necklace. It's not a choker, that's modern, but I don't know. And then there's like a little belt, if you want to call it that. I'm sure maybe that has a term in jewelry as well. Anyways, let's talk to some people.
Well, you found yourself a demon soul, did you? I'm impressed. Yes, indeed I am. Stay the path, and you will soon be a monster yourself.
Who, me? I'm in control here, my guy.
Can't you see you've fallen for their trap?
Oh, now he's saying it how he really feels.
You. Have you seen my corporeal flesh?
Oh, buddy.
Has my body gone rotten?
I don't know, man. You look very generic. You could have been any corpse I looted.
I'm sorry. Please leave me alone.
Oh, he's really going through it.
Who are you? I don't remember anything.
Oh, man. He's roughing it. He's he's not having a good time. He's really breaking down. You know, it's a bit unclear if the idea is that he's starting to lose himself. He hasn't had his flesh in so long. He's been here just sitting for so long doing jack shit that he's starting to go essentially soul starved, like everyone in Boletaria. He's losing himself, and it's unclear if it just perfectly aligns with you arriving and you get to witness it, or if the idea is he's seeing your success in demon slaying and he's jealous, or he's ashamed that he doesn't have it in him to be what you are. Because I think he only says that after you get your second demon soul. So like, oh, the first one, you write that off as that's a fluke, That any random Joe Schmo they pull in here could do that. But then you get a second one. Then you get a second one, and he goes, "Oh, well, you've fallen for their trap. You're doing exactly what they want you to do." Because come on, like be real, guy. You get stronger when you do this. There's no way. As much as he may actually believe that sentiment, it sounds like, as the kids would say, it sounds like cope. And it doesn't help that she's just sitting here doing that. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. I feel for you. Kind of. No, not all that much, really. Hey, Thomas.
Thank goodness you're safe. I was worried sick about you.
Aw. What a sweetheart. He really cares. That's, how many do I have? Oh. Not many. Do I have a bow? I don't think I have a bow. Damn. Let's,
We are indebted to you, for you fight on our behalf.
No. You know that? He really believes in us. He's really starting to believe. Let's take a look at, anything we picked up during this. Oh yeah, the Iron Demon Souls. Soul of the Demon Tower Knight. It radiates a strong power. Okay, I think the bottom is the same as usual. But Iron Demon Soul. So, we had a Lead Demon Soul, Iron Demon Soul. Perhaps the bosses in Boletaria will follow that route and we'll have a different material, maybe, for the third one. But Iron and Lead. There you have it. Throwing knives, these are new. A knife altered for throwing. Throw it to attack. Lightly equipped knights often carried this as a backup weapon. I think it's quite useful. It's got a little hole in the middle so you can spin it and look cool. Be a cool guy. Okay, this is new. The petal of a blue flower that floats on the water stops the user's bleeding. In Boletarian war ceremonies, it was passed to the soldiers going into battle with a semi-symbolic meaning. I guess if this is used in ritual, it is consumed to slow blood loss, giving it to them the symbolic meaning would be as like a sign of good fortune, or as a way to you're gonna be safe. Your blood won't be spilled in this battle. I suppose that's why it's called a soldier's lotus, and this is a royal one because nobility like it as a little silly ornament. Okay, we haven't read the new grass. The top is mostly the same, so. The effect of moon herbs change according to the condition they're in. Half moon herbs are picked when they are withered. Late moon herbs are collected of wilted herbs that emit a faint light even in their wilted state. Full moon herbs are collections of wilted herbs that emit a faint light even in their wilted state, so it's just more. And then dark moon grass. Dark moon herbs are rare, midnight blossoms that are said to be derived from new moon herbs. That was what, what's his face? Ostrava gave to us. Ostradva. I don't know how to say that one. I think we already had a mail breaker. But a compound bow. That's new. A small composite bow. It's fortified with materials besides wood and therefore requires additional strength to wield. I don't have enough strength to wield it, actually. I'm too short. Ranged weapons require one to equip arrows as well as a bow. When an arrow is readied, the user may aim carefully with L1. That is a... Oh, look at this. This is a weird description for a catalyst. The most basic tool for using spells. To use spells, the following conditions must be met. You've learned a spell. You've memorized the learned spell. You have a catalyst equipped, and you have the MP required to cast the spell. Okay. I mean, it's tutorial description. So that's something. Heavy arrows, bolts. Yeah. Oh, gastrocism's ring. A soft ring bearing a bright red seal. Increases resistance against bleeding. Made by Gary Jury? I'm gonna assume it's just literally Gary. Gary and his friend Freak. Made by Gary, a friend of Sage Freak, the Visionary, who is known for his magical handicrafts. The seal's design is a fissure. Okay. I'm not sure if there's any symbolism in that fissure other than that's what a wound might look like. But okay. Well, that wasn't too many. What about you? You got anything new?
I'll excuse the rudeness.
Oh, what? Because I walked away from you.
You're lucky that it's me and not one of the other barbaric lads.
You're so dramatic. Okay.
Be thankful.
Okay, he's saying the same things.
No interest, eh? I can tell you're not gonna last long here.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that, buddy.
I can forge weapons for you at a fair price.
Now, do you... You don't sell a bow. You don't. Yeah, I think I did read these as well. Although, I will need some arrows from him.
No interest.
At least in this episode,
I can tell you
the last thing we're gonna do is go for that orange dragon. I want to try to kill it. Not sure if I'll be able to, but we'll find out. Let's pop some souls. Now, the Iron Demon's Soul makes a spell that we will not be using in this playthrough. I believe it's like a defensive spell. And I think we should still be able to... I don't know if we'll be able to view it later, but either way. Well... Alright, you know what? Just for the sake of reading item descriptions and making sure we're not missing any crazy lore, I'll hold on to it for now. Hey, girl.
Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not? Then touch the demon inside me.
Oh, her thing lit up.
I keep the candles lit and serve the brave demon slayers who are trapped here. I keep the
Okay.
soul of the mind, key to life's ease.
A little more strength. A little more endurance, please. And
Strength be granted so the
a little more health. Oish.
the world might
Not as many levels as I would have preferred.
May thine strength help the world be mended.
I love that line, the line read there. May thine strength help the world be mended. What does the bow take to upgrade? Hardstone? I guess because it's a strength bow? Well, isn't that kind of silly? Alright. Alright, Baldwin. Let's get everything repaired while we have it. Okay, well, seeing as that's the case, what I'm gonna do here, we're not done yet.
You come back alive. I need your business.
Once we're done here in the Nexus, I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna go farm with the goose. I'm gonna farm a shit ton of hard shards, hardstone, as much as I can get my hands on, and then you'll cut back to me and we'll kill a dragon, and that'll be the cap off. We'll also have maybe a few levels from that as well.
Have you heard? If you are attacked by a demon, you will lose your humanity.
Humanity?
What a horrible thought. Just what would happen then? I simply cannot fathom it.
I can't either.
Umbasa.
Oh, Umbasa. Oh, yes, Umbasa. Umbasa. Yes. Hey, bud.
Do you seek the power of God?
I don't know.
A miracle is a
Okay.
heavenly act.
Okay, buddy.
Oh, honorable one, I hesitate
Okay,
to
buddy.
imagine your
At least Blondie had something new to say. But you.
Are you begging for a magic lesson? Me? Without doubt, I made my best effort to save Sage Frake.
Did you?
But I had not the strength. It's as simple as that.
Well, you should have leveled.
Besides, if I myself were captured, who would stand here and recruit rescuers?
Oh my god, this guy.
Besides, if I myself were captured, who would
This
stand here?
fucking putz, bro. Who would recruit people to do what I wish could be done? Hey there, bud.
At its peak, Boletaria was a grand kingdom.
I can tell.
The king, his knights, and his subjects were modest and plain, but also steadfast and compassionate.
Okay,
In the
okay.
distant southern kingdom, Boletaria was known as paradise on earth. But look at what has become of us now. I refuse to believe that this is what Father wished for our great land.
Oh, buddy, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Here in Boletaria, we speak of the legend of the two swords and the last hero.
Oh.
The two swords are Demonbrand and Soulbrand. One sword banishes that which befouls man, and the other banishes man himself. The last hero is Old King Doran.
Oh.
King Doran is the Everlasting One, founder of Boletaria and protector of the two swords.
Okay.
Of course, only according to legend.
Yeah, just, yeah,
But
of
in
course.
the dark
Yeah.
state of our land, legends are all we can depend upon.
That's a pretty good line. The Legend of the Two Swords and the Last Hero. It sounds like an anime title if I've ever heard one.
King Alant led Boletaria with a round table of brave knights. The royal twin fangs, Valafax and Bjor. Alfred, the Knight of the Tower. Metas, the Knight of the Lance. And the brave tribesman, Longbow Ulan and his fearsome legions. But today, Boletaria is an abysmal mess. Valafax was lost, and Bjor slipped through the fissure, never to be heard from again. All the rest, along with Boletaria, have been devoured by the fog, and will soon be prey to the demons. The Boletarian Knights are no longer.
Oh, man.
But perhaps our age will see the rise of new heroes.
Hey, yeah.
Such as yourself.
Yeah. Me and you, bud. he mentioned some of those other knights there. Ulan and his bunch of archers that might be Phalanx from what we can tell. And then he mentioned a lance one whose name I kind of missed, or I've already forgotten it, but I think that might be our Tower Knight.
But perhaps our age will see.
Okay. Well, interesting. Let's go see about, I've never checked with the Monumental after starting a game, after you have to go talk to her. So, I'm curious if she's got anything new to say. It would be cool if there was some, at like certain points of progress, she had new dialogue, but maybe that's hoping for a bit much, I don't know. Hey, you.
The Monumentals perished, and the short...
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I was expecting, but I was hopeful, you know. I was really hoping for something. Alright, well, I think as of right now, outside of farming to rank up these weapons a bit, that is the last of what we can see. So I'm gonna go away for a bit and I'll rejoin you once we have what we need. Hi again. As you can see, we've made some decent progress. I was able to get the bow to 3+, and I was able to get the sword to 3+ as well. I didn't get any levels while I was gone, because most of it went to arrows. Oh! And there it is. Nice. So, that is pretty much the easiest way to kill that dragon without, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, sheesh. Blanking. Without using magic. It's a bit easier with magic. I don't know why I'm getting some stutter now, but I feel like I wasn't before. I don't know if that's coming through on the recording or not. But, I bought 260 arrows. A bit overkill, but I didn't know even with 3+, I was a bit worried that the damage was going to be a bit low. I did realize that we could wear the Fluted Knight chest, so I'm wearing that now. That's the only change to the armor. And yeah, like I said, I didn't get enough for a level or anything, so we're the same level. We can just now explore this barrage as we please. And we'll loot it up real quick. There's not too much to say about it. It's nice to see some charred corpses here. I forgot they actually did have a model for charred corpses. And it even charged the shield. Jesus. That's one serious dragon. Ow. See, man, I'm getting a lot of stutter. I don't know if it's from, I really hope that is not going through on that recording. I hope that's just a visual thing for me, and I also hope that clears up when I get back to the Nexus. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. Foaming Grass. A bunch of archers. A guy who just got parried because he thought he was shit. But, he thought he was the shit. And it turns out he ain't shit. That guy, however, this guy's real. Oh, one thing did happen, unfortunately, that I didn't get to record. Ow. Holy, need a heal. I knew it was coming, I just didn't think it would happen just yet, which is unfortunate. I hear that crystal lizard up there, so I'm actually gonna go get it again real quick. There's no harm in doing that. Nice. The Crestfallen Knight, our depressed man, he may have offed himself, although, admittedly, it's something that happens off-screen, so it's not like we didn't see anything. All that happened was, in one of my efforts to respawn the enemies in the area, I teleported back here, and there was an item here. I'll show you what it was. This one, right here. A storied soldier's soul. He's just a soul. He's a regular soul, too. He doesn't even have a unique soul pickup, which is not too surprising considering our entire experience with him so far. But yeah, he's gone. After he was starting to lose himself, and what it represents with him just ending up as a soul there, I don't know if that's just him going mad and wandering off, or like the Nexus like booting him out, or if he actually like, I guess we can't die here, so you would have had to have gone mad, and I guess he got kicked from the server essentially, for a lack of better terms. But it's really not too surprising to see that that is how that played out. We're gonna head back real quick. I probably should have just done this in one go, actually. But now that our problem dragon is gone, we have free way to all those items out there where the dragon was. So now we can go do that. And that will allow us, if you can believe it, some fashion. We'll be able to kick up our fashion. And our defense, of course, but man, who cares? It's about looking good. That's what it's all about. It did take a decent bit of time to farm the amount of Heartstone shards I needed from these guys. I don't know if there is a difference in the drop rate, but I got way more Sharpstone than I ever did Hardstone. Like, I have a huge reserve of Sharpstone now, which at first I was fine with because I presumed the bow would be Sharpstone, because it's like at least usually in these games it's not a strength weapon for the most part, but okay. But either way, both are 3+. And for now, that'll be the last I do of the longsword, because we are going to be following a particular infusion path, which requires us to stop at 3+. Until we meet someone else, and also get some different materials. Hardstone's not going to cut it for what we're going to do. Oh, come on. Come on. getting a little, playing a little risky here. I don't know why. I really don't need to be. Oh, nice. Oh, the in-sync death animation. That was beautiful. I don't know why it's extra funny to me in these games when that happens. Alright. Oh, hey, Blue's gone too. I thought Blue would still be here. Anyways, you know, based on what we heard earlier, I am also wondering if there's something to the Blue Dragon about him being a pet of the king as well. I'm not sure about that, but I think it might be a safe assumption since they're both here, and they're both going to impede our paths at some point. So, seems kind of likely. Alright, we just got this, which, boy oh boy, does that let us... What can we go up to? We can go up to 30, 35, about like 36-ish, actually. There we go. Full armor. Now, don't we look nice? Alright, cool, cool. We're also gonna get some levels in a minute, that's for sure. I just noticed this. Is this like... Is this supposed to be like a drain of some kind? It looks like there might be a hole there, but it's so dark I literally can't tell. Alright, anyways. Oh man, it feels so nice to be fully armored up. Nice and quick, too. This armor set is quite good for early on. 34 is quite high. I don't know if it's the best in starting, because I know that the cleric class starts out with a pretty hefty set too. I think they start fat rolling as well as the knight, so it's probably up there. But yes, got a couple things to read. Picked up a purple flame shield over there, which means I'm guessing someone. I'm guessing they were trying to face a dragon, if that was there, and, well, didn't serve them well enough, or maybe they didn't have enough stamina to hold it up to that fire breath, but we'll see. We'll see. It might come in handy for us. I don't know if it's something we'll use. I definitely don't need a special equipment outside of what we have currently equipped, and I guess the bow, to do most of what we'll need to do for this playthrough. Alright. First, let's hit a little level up, because we're about to... This is a lot of money we got here. This item here, so this was Crestfallen Man. How much is he worth? Oh, a measly 2K? I mean, that's nice, but it's not very much. Not too surprising, but, you know. Iron Demon Soul we're saving, but the Dragon Soul is actually just for money, so we can actually eat it. The soul of the demon Red Flying Dragon. It radiates a strong power. Grants the holder a large number of souls when used. Well, that's nice. Oh yeah, that's a large number of souls indeed.
Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not?
Mm-hmm.
Then touch the demon inside me.
Of course.
Soul of the mind, key to life's evil.
Make this an even 16.
Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be
I
granted
want
so the world might be mended.
a few points index because we are going to be going quality. A safer landing. I guess just HP. HP is the safest bet.
Art thou done? May thine strength help the world be mended.
Yes, ma'am. Mended it will be. Alright, that last little bit was a bit shorter. Actually, we have a few more things to review. Winged Spear. I don't think we got this already. A long spear with wing-like protrusions on the tip. It's like a rapier, but with a longer reach. Spears have a narrow attack range, but deal heavy damage. They work well against metal armor and hard scales, but are easily parried and have difficulty breaking enemies' guards. It is possible to attack with one's shield up while using a spear. Definitely noticing a trend of these are more informational. These are more tutorial based than future games. Definitely see that. We have the spiked shield. A shield with countless spikes on the front. It is also meant to be used for attacking and can be used to pierce the enemy. I was trying to see if it did bleed at all. This is one of the rarer weapons and does not often see use in combat. Well, yeah, I had a feeling. And the purple flame shield. It is interesting to think, I don't know why this would be on the Lord's Path. I'm not sure. Maybe it's near that arena, so maybe this was like one of the weapons that they would use in like gladiator shows or something like that. It's possible. Purple flame shield. An old, large shield painted in vivid purple. It's quite heavy and very effective against flame attacks. The origin of its characteristic design is unknown. This equipment holds many mysteries. Okay, if you say so. That's such a funny way to describe it. And we got the Ring of Great Strength. A ring given to King Alant's twin fangs raises maximum equip burden. With this great power, the twin fang Bior wielded a massive steel shield, a large crossbow, and a huge sword with ease. Sounds like a cool guy. I don't think we got anything new, actually. Oh, I guess the flame resistance ring? This is mostly the same as the Gash one. Deep red seal, fire defense. Actually, the only difference here is that the design is a flame rather than a fissure. So, that's something. This guy Gary's making all the resistance rings. All about defense. Surely he's still alive somewhere if that's the case, you know. Such a pragmatic guy like that. I want to see this. It does, in fact, have a, like, dragon design to it. This almost does look like a cosplay shield to me. I don't know, maybe it's just the color scheme. It looks like something like that would be... I mean, this is a pretty fantastical game. It's just... It's a little, more out there than previous designs have been, I think. But it's still neat. And then the spiked shield. I mean, yeah, that would probably be not very pleasant. A little punch. Can I two-hand this? No? Can I right-hand this? It's a slightly different attack. You also get an R2. Ooh, the R2 actually has a follow-up. See, this is why this is... I'm sure this is a great shield-only run weapon. And I bet you... that two-handed shielding animation, that's so good. Your character actually ducks down a bit. And then you're probably still shielding when you do this, which I bet is really nice. Anyways. Wait. I'm fucking up. I'm fucking all up. There we go. Oh, well, there we go. That's that. Let me put some of this garbage away. There's so much stuff. Don't need that. Don't need that. I'm not gonna keep that on me. I'm gonna put the plate away. And... is the armor really adding up to 73 pounds like that? It's kind of... Hold on. 11? This is like 12? This should only be like 30 total. Oh, the arrows! That's right, I have a bajillion arrows on me. Alright. We'll keep like a chunk of them on us. We'll keep like 40 on us. Oh wait, that's not how you would do this. Wait. Oh. That's good. That'll do.
You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
Don't worry, I'll do everything in my power, big guy. Alright, well, I think that is...
You're lucky there is me and not one of the other barbaric lads.
Well, that's just because I was walking. I kept walking away from him. That is,
You
I think...
come back alive. I need your business.
Well, now you're interrupting me, so you're being rude. I think that is, going to be everything for this, this episode. This has been 1-2, as well as dealing with the Purple Flame Dragon, which is probably a little bit of an anticlimactic end. I could have left in me shooting it, but I didn't feel like trying to fill 12 minutes of air of just me timing a single bow and arrow shot at a dragon, so I left in the last few shots, just for the sake of seeing where I was shooting from and the death of the dragon. But yeah, this has been pretty good. Next episode we'll be tackling 2-1. I'm getting these numbers mixed up. Of the Archstone of the Burrow King, Stonefang Tunnel. So that'll be cool. But how do I gesture? I want to be able to. I can't view controls. I guess I don't know if they would be the same on here anyways. Because I want to gesture, but I don't think I have a button set for it for whatever reason. I thought the middle button would be it, because I'm using a PS5 controller. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.